Well, two developments in parallel which are somehow dual, even in terms of mathematical language. One, considering the personality as a composition, as a dynamical composition, constantly moving, but also with relation to the past, with coordination, not the kind of postmodern individual who is constantly, choosing what he's doing to do of himself. No, you need to have some account for this coordination, personality. And second, community, not in the sense of opposing society, just the conventional word for politics in terms of differing community. How do you disagree? As you know, you need to agree to disagree to make politics, even with violence, as we see nowadays. So two developments in terms of this architecture of engagement, and in terms of this different what I call, sorry for this name, grammars of commonality, okay, in the plural, because the idea of plurality, of difference, of disagreeing is very important. So two very important notions, this meta-category of grammar, communicating in the sense of not transmitting a message, but transforming your personal concern into a common format, building common forms. And second, composing in terms of defining what is acceptable as a difference between people. And then you need, of course, to integrate somehow these different voices. Now, the grammar of interested individual in a liberal public. Now I must make a statement, because I know that I can be misunderstood, and I wouldn't like to. As a French classical left-wing sociologist, critical, I ignored political liberalism. And more than that, it was completely confused in France, and it is still, with business. But even if in a very sophisticated training with Bourdieu, which was my first training in sociology, well, liberal was the evil, but with no understanding of it, of course. As an economist, I knew, of course, the liberal market, which is just one part of liberal thought. And because we worked very quickly in a comparative perspective in a big research program collaborative with Michel Lamont, my American colleague, I agree, because I knew that I would find something and understand something of this liberal tradition, political. I'm not speaking of neoliberalism now, just political liberalism. But I wanted to deal with it in the pragmatist way that we've been developing, which is not just political philosophy. What do you do as a human being if you want to have access to a differing liberal public space? Well, this is very demanding. And I try to grasp the demand. And even my good colleagues who are bred in a liberal, let's say at least, because we know now very well that United States are not a liberal country because of their president. But usually our colleagues are from the academic field, and they are strongly liberal, which is good, of course. So not only I'm not criticizing liberalism, but I had, as a French, with all my team of colleagues, to learn it. And the result was terrible, because we are very strongly criticized by our critical sociologist colleagues. We were considered as traitors. Now, this is serious. It was extraordinarily costly and still is. Now, what do I do with it? I do not just adopt as a newcomer political liberalism. I try to compare, and this is the object of this table, three of this construction of commonality. What we elaborated with Luc Boltanski through orders of worth, plurality of conflicting orders of worth, plurality of different interested individuals, and something else that I will say a few words later. I said it's very costly, very demanding. Well, usually it's not presented at all this way. If you think of the way political liberalism was sold in a package to post-Soviet Union, I was there constantly, so I know the story. I was part of some cooperative research program, but not selling this package. But the package was clear. You buy market, well, by the way, it's free market, and you'll have political liberalism for the same price, which is free. Because all that is freedom. Well, this is complete confusion and ignorance of what is this, of what is the practical, pragmatical grammar of liberal thought. It is extremely demanding. Why?